Cowboys Nation, hold onto your hats. We've got earth-shattering news that's about to rock the NFL. Tee Higgins, the Bengals' star receiver, could be on his way to Dallas in a blockbuster trade. Is Jerry Jones about to pull off the steal of the century? Are we looking at the birth of the most unstoppable offense in Cowboys history? Stick around, because we're diving deep into this potential game-changing move that could finally bring the Lombardi Trophy back to Big D. Hey there, Cowboys Nation! Welcome to Dallas Cowboys Fan, your ultimate destination for all things America's team. Whether you bleed blue and silver or are just starting to catch Cowboys fever, this is the place. If you are a die-hard fan, please make sure to subscribe for more latest news and updates of your favorite team. We're diving into a bombshell that's shaking up the NFL landscape. That's right, folks, we're talking about the possibility of Tee Higgins joining America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty, let's set the stage. The NFL offseason is always a wild ride, but this year, it's taking us on a roller coaster we never saw coming. We've got trades, free agency moves, and now, this potential mega deal that could change the face of the Cowboys' offense. Let's talk about Tee Higgins for a second. This guy has been lighting it up for the Cincinnati Bengals since he entered the league in 2020. At 6'4" and 215 pounds, Higgins is a physical specimen with the skills to match. He's been Joe Burrow's go-to-target alongside Ja'Marr Chase, forming one of the most dynamic receiving duos in the NFL. But here's where things get interesting. Higgins is entering the final year of his rookie contract, and rumors have been swirling about his future with the Bengals. Contract negotiations have reportedly hit a snag, and now, whispers of a potential trade are echoing through the league. Enter the Dallas Cowboys. We all know Jerry Jones isn't afraid to make a splash, and bringing in a talent like Higgins would be making waves in a big way. Imagine Higgins lining up alongside CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Cooks. That's a receiving core that would give defensive coordinators nightmares. Now, I know what you're thinking. But wait, don't the Cowboys already have a solid receiving core? You're not wrong, but let's break this down. While Lamb has established himself as a true WR1 and Cooks brings veteran savvy, adding Higgins to the mix would take this offense to a whole new level. Picture this, Dak Prescott dropping back, scanning the field. He's got Lamb running a deep post, Cooks on a crossing route, and Higgins using his size to box out a cornerback on the sideline. That's the kind of offensive firepower that wins championships, folks. But let's pump the brakes for a second and look at this from all angles. Why would the Bengals even consider trading away a player of Higgins' caliber? It all comes down to money and long-term planning. With Joe Burrow already signed to a massive extension and Ja'Marr Chase likely to command a huge payday in the near future, Cincinnati might be feeling the salary cap squeezes. If they can't reach an agreement with Higgins on a long-term deal, the Bengals might decide to get something in return now, rather than potentially losing him for nothing in free agency next year. That's where the Cowboys could swoop in and make a deal happen. Now, let's talk compensation. A trade for a player of Higgins' caliber wouldn't come cheap. We're likely looking at a package involving high draft picks and possibly even a player or two. The Cowboys would need to be all in on this move, knowing they'd have to sign Higgins to a lucrative extension to keep him in Dallas long-term. But here's the thing, Cowboys fans, this is the kind of move that could push Dallas over the top. We've seen this team come close in recent years, only to fall short in the playoffs. Adding a weapon like Higgins could be the missing piece that finally brings the Lombardi Trophy back to Jerry World. Let's not forget the impact this would have on the rest of the NFC East. The Eagles have been making moves, the Giants are on the rise, and even the Commanders are showing signs of life. Bringing in Higgins would be a clear signal that the Cowboys are going all in on a Super Bowl run. Now, I can already hear some of you asking, But what about our defense? Shouldn't we be focusing on that side of the ball? It's a fair question, but let me counter with this. In today's NFL, you need to be able to score points in bunches. A lethal offense can mask defensive deficiencies, and with Higgins in the fold, the Cowboys would have one of the most potent attacks in the league. Plus, let's not forget about the ripple effect this move could have. With so many weapons at his disposal, Dak Prescott would be set up for a career year. The running game would benefit from defenses being forced to play back, opening up lanes for Tony Pollard. And let's not overlook the impact on the defense. With the offense putting up points, the D can play more aggressively, knowing they have a cushion to work with. Of course, this is all speculation at this point. We don't have confirmation from either the Cowboys or the Bengals that talks are even happening. But in the NFL, where there's smoke, there's often fire. And right now, the smoke signals are pointing towards a potential blockbuster deal. So, what do you think, Cowboys Nation? Are you ready to see Tee Higgins donning the star? Can you picture him making highlight reel catches in a T&T stadium? The possibilities are tantalizing, to say the least. Now, let's take a moment to consider what this move would mean for the Bengals. Losing Higgins would be a tough pill to swallow for Cincy fans. He's been a key part of their offense and a fan favorite. But in the salary cap era, tough decisions have to be made. If the Bengals could get a haul of draft picks and maybe a young player or two in return, it might soften the blow. For the Cowboys, this move would be a clear indication that they believe their championship window is now. With key players like Dak Prescott, Micah Parsons, and CeeDee Lamb in their primes, adding Higgins could be the final piece of the puzzle. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. There are still a lot of hurdles to clear before we see Higgins in a Cowboys uniform. Contract negotiations would need to take place, and the Cowboys would have to make the numbers work under the salary cap. It's a complex dance, but if anyone can make it happen, it's Jerry Jones and the Cowboys front office. As we wrap up this video, I want to hear from you, the fans. What do you think about the possibility of Tee Higgins joining the Cowboys? Is this the move that finally gets Dallas back to the Super Bowl? Or are there other areas of the team that need addressing first? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's get a discussion going. And while you're at it, don't forget to smash that like button and hit subscribe if you want to stay up to date on all the latest Cowboys news and rumors. Remember, in the NFL, things can change in the blink of an eye. By the time you're watching this video, we could have more information or even an official announcement. So stay tuned to the channel for any breaking updates on this developing story.